Não tá rolando. Ok, foi. Hi Phil, how are you?
I'm great. How you doing?
Oh, I'm pretty much better now. Thank you so much for joining.
Good. No worries.
Well, how does it feel to play live after the pandemic and now touring with Mötley Crüe?
It's we started playing in a band because we wanted to play live. So it was the 2 years off was kind of weird. It was like really, and I wasn't sure whether it would pick up again. We wasn't sure whether people would go, we want to stay in and watch TV or something. So no, it's amazing. And once we got out on tour, it was incredible. I think the US tour was probably the best tour we've ever in our careers. I think the playing had got better, the singing had got better, and there was an energy because we had 2 years off. And then we're with our buddies Motley Crue, which is great because we've known them. I've known Nicky and Tommy since I was, and Vince actually since 1983. So it's just really nice to be out as a big family.
This tour aims to promote Diamond Star Halos. How would you describe the sound and musical direction of the album in relation to previous Def Leppard albums?
With this one, we didn't have to try. It was like because we didn't know we were doing an album. We'd originally gonna record like a one or two songs, and then the pandemic hit. So me and Joe Elliott were just sending ideas together, and was like, whoa, they sounded different. They sounded like stuff that got us into music, like listening to early David Bowie, T Rex, even stuff like some Pink Floyd things. There's a song Angels and there's another one actually, and it reminds me of Pink Floyd. So it's all the stuff that when we got into music, it kind of for some reason came out, and we kind of celebrated it. And we've never really done that before. We've always had an idea of what the album's going to sound like. This no at all. We just followed it, followed our heart, if you like. So it was very different.
Did the pandemic affect or inspire the making of the songs or reflect somehow in the lyrics of the album?
Um, yeah, I mean, they did. It was more of a positive inspiration. Like we done it at home. I literally was at a table downstairs here. I done all my guitars, all my vocals. I'll show you where I did my vocals because in here.
Nice,
So I
man.
got all of my backing vocals in there, and all of the guitars downstairs. So that was inspiring, and the fact that because of the pandemic, there was a lockdown. You couldn't really go out. But my 2-year-old son, who's 4 now, we would go to the beach, go to the park. There'd be no one around. So then I'd go and play with him. Then I'd come home, and it inspired me to do more. I'd get a message from Joe because he was in Dublin. I'm in California. And in the morning I'd wake up and there's an idea, and I'd send him an idea, and we kept doing that. And before we knew it, we had like 5 songs that we'd written together and a bunch of other stuff that we had on the go. So it was very inspired in that, and the sound of it was inspired, I think, by the pandemic. But lyrically, not so much. It was there was different things, like the song "This Guitar." I wrote that kind of 18 years ago with my friend CJ Vanston, and that was about the feeling you have when you have this instrument that never leaves you. It's like it's always there. You can just pick it up, and it never deserts you. It's like a faithful friend. So that was that one. So the lyrics they were about different things. So lyrically, not so much about the pandemic, but certainly inspirationally, sure.
This year marks the 14th anniversary of Pyromania. How do you feel about the fact that the album is still much loved and influential in hard rock music?
Um, because I remember when we first did it, I just joined the band. I didn't even know I joined the band. I was just helping my friends out. Joe said, "You want to play some solos on this new album we're doing?" And I said, "Yeah." And then I went down. I met Matt Lang, and he said, "Oh, you got to sing. You can sing backing vocals too." And then more guitars, more solos. We released the album, and it exploded. So we didn't know that would happen. So that was really exciting. Obviously, you had MTV that was promoting it, and the fact that it's 40 years so quickly was incredible. But that was the most exciting period, I think, of our career, because you're a kid playing a club or an empty theater, half empty theater, and all of a sudden you're like bang, and you're playing arenas and you're on TV all the time. It was really weird, but great, you know, obviously. So I have big love for that album, obviously.
In terms of songs and music, what do you think makes Pyromania so special and so enduring compared to other albums released at the time?
I have to give all the credit to Mötley, the producer, because he said, we don't want to sound like everyone else. And he was made a hybrid between pop and rock with keeping a, you know, a lot of bands, they're rocky and they've got these sweet melody backing vocals. We don't, we kind of shout, you know, it's like rock of age, yeah. It's kind of a different spirit to it, you know, and that he wanted to combine that with the melodic thing. So that was, no one had really done that, you know. It was like, sounded like the Sex Pistols singing in tune and big backing vocals, and then these guitars and solos that meant something, you know. Like the first one I did was Stage Fright and Photograph, and I thought, what is the melody of the vocal doing? And I want to make that, I want to enhance that. So you make the song. So it's all these different things. And then obviously when Hysteria come out, he said, we can't do Hysteria Pyromania Part 2 because everyone else is making that. So again, we had to have different influences as well. So it's about hybrid, I think.
Are there any songs in particular from Pyromania that you feel had a lasting impact in Def Leppard's history?
Yeah, there's a few. I mean, I love it when we play Billy's Got a Gun. It's not a very known song, and Die Hard Hunter. Some of these songs kind of stay in the background, but when we played the Vegas residency, we brought them all out, and it was amazing, and people's reaction to it was incredible. So I think that's the thing. It's harder to do that on a tour because, you know, this one we only have 90 minutes. So you when we're promoting the new album, but you have to play Hysteria, Pour Some Sugar on Me, Photograph, Love Bites. You know, those songs you just have to do it. So you're limited. So we it's very tight. We go, okay, we can go into this song, go into this song. You have to keep that really precise. When you do Vegas, you can play for 2.5 hours, so it's okay, you know.
Mm-hmm. What can the fans expect from the bands in regards the 14th anniversary celebrations of Pyromania?
And all the anniversaries kind of sneak up on us. So before you know it, someone goes, oh, you know, it's Pyromania's 40th, and we're like, oh, okay. We celebrate it all the time. You know, we absolutely we play, you know, full in Rock of Ages Photograph. We always do that, but it has to be in the context of the tour. You know, if we was going to do like a show where we just play one album, that'd be a different thing. But on this one, we haven't really got the time, so we have to incorporate it into other stuff.
Def Leppard's first time in Brazil was in 1997. What do you remember from those concerts promoting the album Slang?
It was a weird time for us because people weren't really showing up at the shows, and I love that album, but it kind of disappeared. It went under the radar. So it was a very different album for us, and it was just a weird time. You know, Steve had died, you know, during Adrenalize, you know, during the recording of that. So it was just a very strange time period, and Vivian had just joined. So we're trying to find our way, if you like, again. So everything that we did, it was kind of experimental, and just a very different time period. And now it's gone kind of full circle. It's all back to where it should be. But no, it was great. I wouldn't miss that for the world, because I thought it was a great album and a great tour, but not many people showed up.
But for you, what was the reason for the controversial reception of this Slang album by the fans and the critics?
You can't please everyone all the time. You have to please yourself, and that's something we've always done. You know, you don't make music just to please other people. You have to please yourself. You have to go, okay, I've got to get this. I've got this idea. I've got this song. I've got to get it out. You don't go, well, I'm going to change it. I'm going to do something else because that's what they want us to do. So, yeah, it was a different thing. We didn't spend as much time on the songwriting or the harmonies or all that stuff. We done it, and the backing tracks were like live. And we never do that. You know, like Hysteria, Pyromania, everything was done separately. And Adrenalized. Then we get to Slang, and we're playing live as a band in the studio. You know, you'd think that people would like that, but not so much. You know, it's like, well, okay. So yeah, like I love that album. Like I said, I think it's really important. But it's you have different phases in your career and artistically. So yeah, like I said, love it, love how it sounds, love all the stuff about some of my favorite stuff on it. Pearl Euphoria, amazing. And so yeah, you know, and the strings and stuff that was ahead of its time, I think. So yeah, very cool.
Do you think the reaction to Slang by the media and the half-empty venues had any impact on the band's career or your approach to music in the years to come?
Only initially. I think a lot of bands get disheartened when someone gets slammed for an album and people don't buy it, and they kind of start losing interest. It did the opposite to us. I mean, I don't know whether you saw, you obviously did the World Cup this last year, and I was amazed when Argentina and France, you know, Argentina were killing France. Then all of a sudden, Mbappe, you know, gets a penalty, then he scores another goal, and it was like, whoa! And that's what you're supposed to do. I like that. I know the French didn't win, but there was a spirit that took it. Come on, they took over them. They got more, you know, focused, and they was playing. The playing was incredible, and I was like, whoa! And so we compare that to that. You know, you have to be kind of like that French team. You have to go, well, we're not letting it affect us. We're going to get up and give it to you. So that's really what Slang was like, you know, and that time period. It made us more ferocious and more dangerous and more focused. Yeah.
It would take 20 years for Def Leppard to return to Brazil when you played at Rock in Rio. Were we able to undo the bad impression of 1997?
Yeah, I don't think it was a bad impression. I think it was just being invited down. You know, the promoters have to invite. They go, oh, well, perhaps we won't do that because there wasn't many. I mean, there's so many different things, but it's never about the fans or anything. It's always it's something else. It's like you have to be invited. You have to be promoters, and the business aspect of it has to kind of invite you down. So no, we love it down there. It's like just incredible. So yeah, looking forward to it every time.
And a lot of people swear that Def Leppard was a confirmed attraction at the first Rock in Rio in 1985. Is it true that the band would come to Brazil on that occasion and it didn't happen due to the accidents with drummer Rick Allen?
No, we were in the studio. I mean, obviously that was around the same time, but we were in the studio from 84 to 86. So doing the Hysteria album. So we couldn't have got away, you know.
Is there anything special that you and the band plan to do in terms of performance or setlist for the forthcoming dates in Brazil?
Yeah, we constantly change the set list, like just a little bit, because like I said, you have to play songs that people want to hear, and then you have to kind of slot in new songs around that so that they don't sound weird and everyone leaves and goes to buy a beer or something. So yeah, you constantly have to keep changing it and just keep it exciting. The whole show, you know, we've got lasers and the screens and everything. That is just every year it just gets better and better and better. But also the playing gets better. You know, guitar playing better now than I was last year. You know, singing gets better. We constantly do that, and I think that, you know, people notice that.
And when the tour is done, what can we expect from you, musically speaking?
We're always, I'm writing all the time, constantly. I've been, you know, writing with other people, writing with Joe. We got a bunch of songs that didn't make it on the album because we didn't quite finish it off, and it was like, oh, we got to put a record out. This wait till the next one. So we're all good to go. You know, it's a non-stop kind of conveyor belt of just ideas and inspiration. So that's cool. I've got some other stuff on the go as well. So yeah, I'll let you know about that a bit nearer to the time when it comes out as well.
So to wrap things up, do you have a message for the Brazilian looking forward to seeing the band live soon?
Absolutely, yeah. Be yourself. Be Brazil. We're looking forward to it, and we can't wait to get down there. So it's like, and even just, I know we're in São Paulo this time, but I was just mentioning earlier as well. Avenue Madalena. I want to go there if I get a bit of time, because I want to, you know, check out. It's been years since I was there last, so it's, yeah. I really look forward to that, and just look forward to the passion and stuff of the Brazilian fans. So yeah.
Man, thank you so much for your time. I hope to see you soon in Brazil.
Absolutely. Are you coming down? You coming to the show?
Of course I am.
Right
the
on.
third time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye
Take
bye.
care. Bye.
Thank you, Marcelo.
Obrigado.
That's it, Phil. Thanks a lot for
Perfect. Thank you so much.
See you.
I'll see you in a week or so.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
All right, take care. Bye.
You too.